Hello and welcome. My name is Linda Barnum, and this is the seated QiGong class. I'm going to begin by reading a short disclaimer. Please listen carefully. To reduce and avoid injury, you should check with your doctor before beginning any fitness program. By performing any fitness exercise, you are performing them at your own risk. The town of Aurora will not be responsible or liable for any injury or harm you sustain as a result of participating in our online fitness or information shared on our website or social media channels. This includes emails, videos, and texts. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Today, we're going to come into a seated QiGong practice, so please sit yourself in a steady and upright chair. I'm going to begin with breath awareness, so sitting quietly, taking some time to tune into the body and invite the body to relax. I like to place a folded blanket, or a rolled blanket, I should say, just into the back along the spine. And that works well for me to make me feel comfortable in this particular chair to sit up in good posture with ease. If you wish to try that, you can pause the video, grab yourself a blanket or large towel, roll it up, and put that behind you. See how that feels. The word QiGong simply translates, or very simply translates, as energy work. Qi, energy, gong as work. So when we're practicing QiGong, we're working with balancing the energy. A consistent and regular practice of QiGong can be very helpful in improving our balance, coordination, strength, and flexibility. It's also a lovely mind-body practice for giving us some tools to relax the mind and have some tools to manage stress. As I mentioned, we're going to begin today with some tuning into the breath. We'll come into some simple movements just to warm up through the joints of the body, and then we'll come into a QiGong flow, which simply means to put some movements together. Keep in mind that you should feel good when you're practicing your QiGong. I'm going to do the movements a certain number of repetitions. If that feels right for you, great. If you need to do less or would like to do more, then please change that up. Another way that you can modify the session in order to suit your body is to change the range of motion. For example, if we do a big circle and that doesn't feel right for you, just make that circular action smaller, where you're in a pain-free range of motion. Let's begin. Take some time to settle comfortably into your chair. Place one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. Relax your shoulders. This is the lower dantian or lower energy field and the middle dantian or middle energy field. The hands placed on these energy centers helps us to bring our awareness to that area of the body and feel the breath. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze if you wish. Take your attention to the breath. The hands perhaps gently moving with the in-breath, the out-breath. Allow your breath to be easy and natural, just where it is right now. And feel perhaps the movement of your hands rising and falling with the breath in, the breath out. Feeling the rhythm of your breath and relaxing into rhythm. At the same time, inviting your body to relax into the space, this present moment space. Feel the feet connected down through to the ground. Relaxing into the seat of the chair. And the shoulders relax down, the face soften. Follow your breath and bringing your mind's attention inward. Breath in, breath out. Now shift your hands so they come palms down on your front thighs. Feel that shift, perhaps as grounding as we place the palms down. Feel yourself perhaps settling in a little further into the space. Open your eyes or lift your gaze. Drop your chin to your chest and we'll begin with some gentle neck rolls. Rolling the chin over to the one side, so just looking over towards the one armpit and then rolling over to the other side. Now doing this slowly and in that pain-free range of motion. Let your jaw relax a little, lips parting, teeth separating. Slowly moving across the collarbone, one side to the other. One more either side. And coming back center, roll the shoulders back. Just getting some movement back, opening through the chest. Sometimes if we're sat a lot, say on the computer or just in general, start to slouch forward. So rolling the shoulders back to counteract that movement. Open through the front body, chest, and release some tension from the neck and shoulders. Now, one more, and drop your shoulders down away from your ears. At this point, slip that blanket out from behind you if you chose to use the blanket roll. Shift yourself a little further forward on your chair so that you still feel safe and comfortable on your chair, but there's a little more room behind you. Hands on the front thigh. We're going to move into a cat stretch to begin releasing a little further down the spine. We're scooping back, creating a shallow letter C with the shape of the spine, and then bringing it through and extending forward, lifting a little through the heart, the breastbone up towards the ceiling. And let's take that into a rhythm and a pace that feels good to you. Remember, the point is to release tension along the spine and into the back. So just find where that spot is. pace, that rhythm, range of motion that works well. I'm just going to show you from the side a little so that you can see this action and movement into my spine. Scooping back, tailbone to the top of the head, flexing the spine, extending and coming through and forward, tailbone to the top of the head. So there's this inward curve, a little more through the spine, and that's extension and flexion. Keep going with your cat, and we're going to bring it into a cat circle. So start to take it over to the one side, extend, side, and flex, stirring around. Again, it just should feel very good. Let's change direction. If you don't like the circling, it feels a little disorienting, which can happen for some people. Just go back to that regular back and forth cat stretch. You're enjoying, let's come around one more time through and up and back into a neutral spine. I'm going to move through the side a little now, taking the palm up. Actually, we get nice movements here, wrist, elbow, shoulder, and a side stretch. We start with the palm up, drop it down. Bring the back of the hand along the side. So this way you're going to get that stretch over the top of the wrist. Bring it up as far as you can, even if you can underneath the arm there. And this takes you into a bit of a side stretch. And then roll it back around. These few movements that we're starting with are from a QiGong movement called silk reeling, silk reeling. So it's a lovely movement, a series of movements to release the joints. I like to start with those just to get the joints a little warmed up. Let's do one more this side. Bring that hand down. We'll start on the other side, palm up, dropping down, coming up along the side and around. Just feel your breath and noticing your breath, natural and easy. You can bring focus to the breath and the movement together. Perhaps noticing where you breathe in, where you breathe out. Try that one more time if you can. And bring it down. Going to take it into a little bit of a bigger side stretch. If this one doesn't feel right for you, let's just go back to this movement that we've just done now. This time, we'll bring the arm up and over. Now, we want one hand on the opposite side here. And then we swing the arm through and reach out and lengthen out, as if you could reach a little further than your fingertips. Bring it up and over, side stretch here, swing through and reach. Now, your pelvis is going to stay level in the chair. So we're not leaning over here, but sitting down evenly into both sits bones and feeling the weight come into both feet so that the movement is above the waist. Perhaps one more on this side. Again, you decide. Let's bring that hand down. Just steady yourself here. Drop this arm. Let's bring it up and over. Remember, we're sitting evenly into the chair. You'll notice that all the movements that we do are very slow and rhythmic. That's purposeful in the QiGong. Remember that it's about freeing up the energy flow through the body. We don't want to create any tension. We want to actually release it. Let's try that one more time if you can. And bring it down. Might feel good to roll the shoulders again. We're going to come into some tapping. So tapping in the QiGong is something to shift stuck energy. You can think of tension like stuck energy. We'll start with coming across this very top lung space, just underneath the collarbone, giving a tap across the heart and lung space. So that's in QiGong, that might not always be the particular space of the organ. The heart and lung space up here, and then we want to take it back and along the top of the shoulder here. Now keep the vigor or the amount of tapping that you like to do just where you like that, light or a little bit stronger. And through to the back lung space. Sorry, it's definitely releasing something there for me. And let's bring that down so that we're going to go down this inside edge of the arm and up the back. So you might start to feel there's a little tingling and warmth as we shift and move that stuck energy. Just notice. And let's come across on the other side. What in here at this top lung space. Over to the shoulder, that's usually a pretty tight area for people, and into this back lung space if you can reach that. And we're going to come down along the inside edge of the arm and up the outside edge. And just notice how that feels. Let's come into the center a little more with both hands, perhaps around the neck a bit more. And a little run. Sit the hands down. Just notice this, pause for a moment how that feels. I was mentioning maybe a little tingling and warmth. A little more awake. Now we're going to rub the hands together. When we rub the hands together, again, we might feel a bit of energy in terms of the hands getting warmer or more tingly. And then hold the hands apart. So you might feel energy in the hands themselves, or even like there's something between the hands, some substance that's a little thicker than air. And this is what we call the chi ball, this energy ball. We'll start to expand that energy ball, like making this invisible ball a bit bigger, and then condense. Do that a few times, breathing in here as you expand. Breathing out as you condense your chi ball. Just noticing any sensation that occurs for you. It's kind of interesting to do this. Playing with your chi ball. Let's take that in diagonal. The other way. Bringing it back across. This time when we condense, let's just bring that in. Place the hands on the belly for a moment on this lower dantian. We're going to come into the flow of movement. So I'll put a few movements together and bring that sensation of energy and the breath into the movement. Don't overthink anything. Just relax and enjoy. Palms down. Now we might feel that sensation a little more in the hands. We've just done a little more energizing through the hands and the upper body. Now let's float the arms up as if you're lifting the energy up through your whole body. So you might feel yourself come up a little bit taller. And then float the arms down. At the same time, feel yourself ground a little further. Come in and up. Releasing down. Nice and slow and smooth if you can. Just noticing your breath, where you tend to breathe in, where you tend to breathe out. This is waving hands by the sea. QiGong movements often have names related to nature. So we can imagine just the waves coming in and out of shore. Energy lifting and receding. Now we're going to take it so that we now bring the arms up, let them float up, and then expand and open across the chest. Condensing that chi ball, turning it down and ground it. Remember here where you might change up the number of repetitions. If that doesn't work for you. If you need to pause at any time, just stay connected to your awareness, to the breath in your body. You might even bring your hands back onto the middle and lower dantian and just pause there with your breath. This is expanding chest on mountaintop. So as we come up, we're really opening to the expansiveness as if we were on a mountaintop. A beautiful view, fresh air. Let's try one more. Bring it down. Going to keep going with another movement called Part in the Clouds. We're gathering in again. So as you're lifting up, you might feel that lift coming up, making you just that little bit taller, coming up and through, and then opening as you come to the forehead or just in front of the third eye there. Lifting up. Opening and clearing. This is called Part in the Clouds. So we can imagine the clouds You know, that day where all of a sudden the clouds open and then the sun comes through. So it's a lovely movement to help us just clear any fuzziness in the head. I love to do some QiGong in the morning. We might feel a bit stiff or a bit sort of groggy, and any amount. So you could just stick on the video here and practice a few movements at a time, or come through to the whole session. You have the energy for that. Let's part the clouds one more time. Bring the hands down. Now just keep it in mind, that pain-free range of motion. I'm going to try one more big upper body movement. These first few movements really help to get the circulation going, help with the posture and lifting and opening the upper body. This one is a big one, so take it into a pain-free range of motion for you. If you need to make the circles smaller, but we're going to come into your largest pain-free circle. Coming up and opening back. Again, if you can, just one more. Need to pause, just come back to that focus, more singular focus on your breath. And release down. Let's come into that pause again. 2 or 3 breaths, just to kind of check in. How do we feel? Perhaps a little more energized as we've opened up the upper body. And now we're going to come into some rotation movements. These rotations come from the center of the body. So as I'm turning here, watch my knees and feet. They're not turning with me. They're staying nicely grounded, and I'm turning from the upper body. So moving from the center of your body. See if you can try that now yourself. Hands on the waist, a little turn, keeping the legs fairly steady and turning. Don't turn as far as if you let your legs turn with you, but it is a good movement. This is a rotation. It's a helpful movement for the flexibility of your spine. It's a helpful movement for the internal organs. They get a little squeeze there as we move from side to side. Going to bring your right hand across to the left and just palm up there, like you're passing something over to the person next to you. Bring it down and turn back center, other side. Yeah, you want your lower body fairly steady. We're turning from the center of the body. Stay nice and tall through the crown of the head. Try one more either side here. Now we're going to take it right into the next movement. Take the hand over. This is holding the ball. When we come back, we're going to hold that chi ball again and take it so we're lifting both hands up and over the shoulder here. Turning again, steady through the legs, turning from the center of the body. Bringing it back and turning. It's called gazing at the moon. So imagine you have a full moon in your hands and you're just coming up and taking that over your shoulder and then back. Let's try that one. One more either side. And then we're going to bring it back and take this right hand to push out to the opposite side. Pushing out from the center of your body and then pull it back in. So imagine there's a piece of elastic attached to your wrist and attached to your navel. And you're lengthening out from there. And then from the center of your body, you're getting this pull back, keeping your shoulders relaxed. So not reaching here and pushing out, creating tension in the neck and shoulders or throwing us off balance, but moving from the center of your body. This is something I found very helpful in QiGong in terms of my balance. To remember to move from the center of my body, not my extremities. Feel the difference. Feel strong and stable from the center. There's a nice little turn in the wrist here too. So for anyone that's on the computer a lot. Let's try that one. Just come in one, either side. Here, last one, over to this side. And then we'll bring the hands back so that they sit in front of the middle dantian and the lower dantian. Shoulders relaxed and a little space underneath your arms. Just like if you were holding a baby that's just a little bit bigger and you're able to hold them slightly away from your body. And then we're going to turn and rotate. Switch the arms. So this arm on top is the one we're going to follow over to the other side. Again, it's a turn from the center of your body. Keeping it nice and easy. Let your gaze follow the hands. This is cloud hands. And bring it back center. Relax the hands down. Going to move into continuing with feeling this strength from the center of your body to bring in a little balance and coordination. So we'll bring the one leg out a little further to one side. Make sure you still feel steady on your chair. Feel yourself settle down into your feet, steady and grounded. And we're going to scoop over this leg, like you've got something to pick up there. And when we go to do that, it's this energy from the center of your body that's going to bring us back on up, open and release. Slight fold forward where it feels right for you. Nice breath from the center of your body, lifting you back on up. This is scooping the sea and viewing the sky. Let's try it on the other side. Bring that leg in, move the other leg out, make sure you feel steady on your chair. And then we're going to come forward wherever that feels good. Up, pulling up from the center of the body and viewing the sky. Deep breath here, pull in a little from the navel and up. Bring it back center. Final movement to add a little strength and balance. Child bouncing ball. Taking this from side to side now. The same floating of the arms up and down. One side and then the other. Now at the same time, as we bring up this one arm, we slightly lift through the opposite foot. So you can come up onto the ball of that foot. And then as we lower down, slowly lowering the foot and the arm down. So we're cross patterning. It's the same as a long, long time ago when we were crawling. Coming up. Now, let me show you that from the side so you can see a little better what I'm doing with my feet. We're taking it up, opposite arm, opposite leg, smoothly. We're trying to drop the arm, drop the foot in the same pace and rhythm. Might already feel that that's enough. It's going to be working these lower leg muscles and perhaps also feeling that from the center of your body. If you want to take it a little further and it feels right for you, try a lift of the leg. Now, when you do this, it's going to engage a little more here. You might feel that a little more in the center of your body. And what I want you to make sure that you're not doing, so sometimes we might lift the leg a little higher, think, oh, look how much I can do this. But what happens to kind of collapse into the back. So that's not what we're doing right now. It's an okay movement to do, but it's not right now. I'm going to sit tall. And bring that movement in. Now, the foot, can you keep it engaged? So not dangling, but lifted. So we've got a little strength here, the top of the foot. Oops, getting myself confused. Now I want you to face forward. I'll just turn in on my chair so that you can see me a little better. Okay, one more if you can there, either side, and then settling yourself back down and just notice how that feels now that you come down to both feet nicely back on the ground, little symmetry here. And let's maybe give a little bit of that tapping around the back and the hips and thighs. So this time I'm making a bit of a fist with my thumb folded in. So I've got this kind of flat here, and then just tapping and tap that into the back. If you can reach there around the kidney area, around the hips. And again, it's the amount of vigor that you want to add. It's very softly or a little more vigorously along these front thigh muscles, not on the knees. I'm not going on the joints. I'm just coming on this very fleshy muscle here. The thigh muscles are pretty big muscles. That should just feel like it kind of loosens things up. But a little rub. Let's just do a little more cat. Check in on your cat. How does that feel now? We're almost at the end of the session. Feel like things have shifted at all? A little more rhythm or smoothness in your movement or flow, more range of motion, ease. Just check that out. It's kind of a nice way to check in. What's the reaction in your body or your response to your QiGong practice today? And then because Qigong is about balance, we're going to bring our final movement as center and ground. So sit in where you feel comfortable. If you want to, put that rolled blanket back into the back. Set yourself up there so you can sit a little more comfortably in good posture. Have that work for you. Get that comfortable there. And then we're going to gather up. We're going to come up, lifting, lengthening up, turning at the forehead and bringing that back down. Breathing in. Breathing out. So centering and grounding. Feel the balance with a little bit of a lift and inspiration and a releasing and grounding. One more if you can. Rub the hands together just a little. Hold that chi ball, expanding and condensing. Nice easy breath in, breath out. And this time when we condense the chi ball, let's bring it in to rest the hands onto the belly. Relax the hands there, relax your shoulders. If you like, you can lower your gaze or close your eyes. We'll take a few minutes to just return to the breath as a more singular focus. Letting go of all the instructions and directions for the movement. And settling back into the feel of your hands gently moving as your belly gently rises and falls. Your in-breath, your out-breath. Relax into the rhythm of your breath. Just let in all of that movement and breath work, digest. Now releasing your hands so their palms down again on the front thighs. Perhaps noticing that sensation of grounding, settling a little further in a relaxed way into the seat of the chair, to the surface of the ground, through the feet. And slowly lifting your gaze, opening your eyes, release your hands, perhaps just move a little. And take some time just adjusting before you move mindfully into your next activity. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you feel both energized and relaxed. See you soon.